And I remember like a crazy story too, because God would not only would still use me from time to time to encourage me, but I also like be slapped in the face. You know what I mean? With conviction. I remember one time I pull up at my swag's house, one of the clientels I was serving, and I had a close relationship with him for years, and his wife, and I always be at the house. So while I'm in there, serving, I'm in there like hanging out for a while. And this is back in the days like when DVDs were popping. You know what I mean? So like people don't use DVDs no more. That's not a thing. So he had, a lot of people did this. He collected DVDs, but he was like OD with it. He had like walls and walls of DVDs. So normally every time I go over there, I would leave with a few DVDs. I pick ones out that I want to watch and I bring them back. So he was on this big like vampire binge for like a little while. So he was just buying nothing but like vampire DVDs. And I went over there one day and he was trying to give me like all these vampire stuff. And this is why like when I was young in the faith, like I ain't watch stuff like that. Like I was too overly zealous and I'm like, nah, that's demonic. You know what I mean? I don't watch stuff like that. So even whenever I was in rebellion into my sin, tripping, selling dope back in the streets, like when he tried to offer me like these vampire DVDs, like I was still uninterested because of like my spiritual convictions somewhat. So I was like, nah, I'm good, man. That stuff's demonic. And then his wife, she never really liked me anyways. She goes, huh? Demonic. She goes, you know all about that, huh? So I'm pissed. I already know she's shooting at me. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? And she's like, yeah, you know all about the demonic, don't you? Pushing the devil's work. And I'm like, dang, like she calling me out. But it's true though. I'm freaking selling like Satan's poison, man, destroying people's lives. As born again believer, like tripping, like tripping. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm just like laughing, like looking back, hindsight, like a light bulb moment, and this how slapped in the face of conviction I had. And I'm like, man, I'm like, and I'm like trying to convince this woman, like, yeah, I know I'm doing wrong. I know like this is poison. I know this is like affecting people negatively in the community and all this stuff. I said, but real talk, like, yo, I'm like genuinely saved. Like I for real have a relationship with God. And she's like, ha, ha, like laughing and just like pretty much calling me like Satan's spawn. And I just stopped even trying to like prove myself or argue my point. But I remember leaving her house super discouraged and super ashamed and convicted. And I also know that that was God in the moment too. Not like shaming me or condemning me, but just like another slap in the face of conviction. Like, yo, like son, this ain't who you are, man. Like this ain't you no more. You know what I mean? Let it go. Coming home from prison, like I said, man, I was on fire. My faith.